Let's begin. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to take this slide by slide, step by step. I wanted to do this masterclass because I think goal setting is one of the biggest components of our lives and the biggest things that people, I would say, fall short of is our aim. We fall short of the aim that we set for our life and we can become very disappointed and disillusioned by that. And I think a lot of it can be avoided with a good system and set of questions and set of exercises and activities that you do that can hone accurately into what you want to create of your life. And so that's what I want to help you guys do. Whether selfishly, it would be awesome if I can help you attain your goals and I get part of the credit. That would fulfill me. And then that's really like a main aim for this. And another aim of why I'm doing this is because it's come up so often with clients and people I work with and people in my community is this component of goal setting. And I wanted to solve that problem for so many people who don't have tools for resiliency when times get really hard and they start wavering from the things that they say are really important to them. And so by the end of it, you should have a lot more clarity on what you want your vision and your future to look like, and the armoring and the tools to be resilient against the stresses and the doubters of life. Let's begin. If you don't specify what you want, you won't get it. I know many of you watching this back, there'll be about dozens and dozens of people watching this back, and there'll be, for all of you in here, you need to specify your aim precisely. And I think a lot of us are walking through life with a general intention. A lot of people walk through life with a general intention. Oh, I want to do this, so this is what I'm going to do. But it's not specific to an aim. And so you can't get what you want in your relationships, in your life, with money, with business, with anything without a defining a clear aim. So that's what I'm going to build here. But before I do, I just want to see how many people are health professionals or coaches. Can I just get one of these? Just click this little thing. Health professionals working in like my industry. All right. So this is going to be relevant for you guys. I don't imagine there's going to be too many people watching this that don't have an aim, but you'd be surprised. And so this is going to be for the people that don't have a clear aim and for the people that you're going to work with. Like Jacob is one of my great students in Trinity. He has one of his clients in here, Faizan. Jacob could use this for a client like Faizan and I give him the system. That's what I want to give to you. So you guys can actually make your coaching and your business more effective and more efficient in giving you this system. Answering what to do with your life, I want to try and summarize this very tricky, complex question in one slide if I can, because some people will come to you with this question and you could guide them. If you feel stuck, when you feel stuck in the future, because inevitably you probably will, I would encourage you guys, for you, your clients, the people around you, is to observe your curiosity, your obsession. What are you a little bit obsessed about? When time just passes by and you're like, oh, that's 3 hours gone. When time just flies by, what are you doing? That's a clue. Where does your mind wander when you're bored? What did you want to be when you were a kid? Before the world told you otherwise? These are some questions you can ask to get clues on what you should be chasing. And you can ask yourself right now for what you're already doing. Are you curious? Are you a bit obsessed? And in the beginning, a lot of us have high expectations and this perfectionist mindset. And I would encourage you guys to do a bad job at it first. Whatever you're picking to do, with you or your clients, do a bad job at the habit first. Don't try and aim for something exceptional from the beginning, because for most people, it delays action. So if you say do it badly first, then you lower the expectation and it's just going to be done. You're going to start moving. Another question I like to ask is, if you couldn't tell anyone what you did and no one knew, what would you do? Because I think some of the things we pick, I know some of the things we pick are influenced heavily by social, cultural, family influences. So that's a question to ask for yourself and your clients. What problems do you want to solve? What questions do you have about life? I, soon to be officially released, made this nasal strip business to solve my own problem. Didn't like the way they looked. Didn't like the way they felt. Wanted to create a brand and business centered around men and masculinity and inspiring and empowering men to betterment. Through that, solve my own problem. This isn't a phrase from Jordan Peterson. Aim upwards towards the highest good. If you could do the highest good in the world, what could it look like if anything was possible? These are questions to reflect on. These are questions to ask your clients. For that very challenging and overwhelming question that some people ask is, what do I do with my life? And what do you do in 10 years when inevitably a lot of you will change industries? You can come to this. And if a lot of you guys have your own goals in your life, I encourage you to actually start aiming low, like really start small. You're going to have a big goal. You're all going to set big goals. And our aim is going to be to put it into its smallest constituent parts and like stepping stones. So if you want to exercise 5 days a week and weight train 5 days a week, or you want to make $300,000 a year, but you're only making 50, we're going to focus on the smallest increment of how do we get you from 50 to 60 or 50 to 75K. And you're going to kind of ignore the bigger goal and focus on the stepping stone.
If you're aimless,
I'm going to read share so you can read this. You can listen to this.
and goalless, then you can't elicit any positive emotion. And if your goals are fragmented, which is also what happens if you're aimless or your goals lack unity, if your goals are fragmented, then no given behavioral manifestation can elicit any dopaminergic reward because it's not a step forward to anything desirable. And so there's no positive emotion. And so you can't learn. Well, according to your account, I didn't know that. See, I didn't know that when you put yourself in a state of apprehension in relationship to a valued goal, that your neuroplasticity improves and you can learn better. That's very, very cool. We tell people that when they sit down to write an essay, that's the most important thing you have to do is you have to have a question in mind that you regard finding the answer to as worthwhile. Otherwise, the whole exercise is a lie. So even if you're assigned a topic, you have to find something within the topic that grips you, and then the writing exercise is going to be gripping because you're grappling with a real mystery.
Something to think about and rewatch, particularly with what grips you. And if your aim's too big to begin with and you fall short of it, the neurological effects that you feel of great disappointment or feelings of depression can elicit such a low dopamine state that you can be so disincentivized to continue on. This is why we want to break things down in a small manner.
If you're aimless and
now this is an example of you are here. The symbol, like the woman, the beautiful woman here. Okay, she's the symbol of your aim, or where you are, rather. And the light is the aim. And this is the journey that all of us will take. And I think our expectations, consciously or subconsciously, is that things will continue to go well. And they won't. Your aim will change. Your vision will change. And at each turn is like a symbolic death and rebirth, if you've heard of Joseph Campbell's The Hero's Journey. It's in every famous movie, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, it has this representation. You will have the same. You will ask, I know because this has happened to me a couple times in my short life, is that you will get to junctures and you will ask big questions. What the hell am I doing? Has anybody felt that? It's like, what am I doing with this whole life thing? Am I sure? How do I know? Whether you felt that before, you will inevitably feel it. And that is normal. To get to this light, to get towards this aim, this idealistic upper aim of good, you will go through many junctures and many changes over your life. And so I want to let you guys know that ahead of time, because the goals you set now will absolutely change, and the big challenges that will come can come from inner crises of sorts. When that happens, reach out, because I understand. Now, this is some framing. Unless you sacrifice for your goals, and your goals will become the sacrifice. There are some very smart people in here. There are some very well-educated people in here listening and watching this back. There will be sacrifice and trade-offs absolutely needed, and I think some of you logically understand that. But when it comes to actually making that sacrifice, then we have a problem with it. The decision is up to us, up to you. Every single day you make a decision to become the person you want and choose to be, or you go away from it. Everything you put in your mouth, every habit, action, every decision is like a crossroads that will take you either towards the person and the life that you want to live, or away from it. And a lot of that, and some of that will require sacrifice. So when times get difficult and you're choosing between one thing or another, I would come to this quote. And then there's the question that people ask. Okay, most people ask the first question. And this is a lot of this, or some of this, is from one of my mentors, Brandon Carter. Some of these questions and these systems. So much credit to him. Most people ask, how can you create a plan or create a goal that would make it, how can we achieve the goal? Instead, if you ask the question, how do you create a plan and vision and system and goals and habits that would make it unreasonable to fail? Unreasonable. What about impossible? What would you have to do to make it virtually impossible for you to fail your goal? It's a different framing of question. How could you make it impossible to fail? If you do that, you basically create a bulletproof plan that will take you to wherever you want to go. That's what happened to me with New York. That's not the only reason. It's the main reason I'm here is like I made a plan and a vision that was impossible to fail. There was nothing that was going to stop me. From growing my business to where it needed to be, to do this, to live here, to figure out visas and the complexities of businesses, LLCs in America and the system to set that up and all the lawyer fees, nothing, don't matter. Go ahead, boys. I don't know if it's Boyd or Matt.
Yeah, hope you don't mind. I just thought this was really cool because this one just hit me a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I currently have a goal that it's a long-term goal. Basically where I want my career to be in the next 5 years. And it's like when you have that phrasing or that reframing of what can you do? How do you make this plan so that it would be unreasonable or impossible to fail? I just think the first thing that comes to my mind instantly is just actually giving yourself enough time to feasibly achieve the goal. Like, the example in this case, I'll share is I want to go to the bar. So I want to become a barrister. So doing that, I'm probably not going to succeed in studying and sitting that exam if my goal is to do it in the next year,
Mm.
just based on my current level of experience. So I have a 5-year plan because I believe that in 5 years, it would be pretty reasonable to achieve because of all the things that would encompass that 5-year plan, which result in doing that exam and everything. And I think if it's a that's just my view. I could be entirely wrong, but I think it's that, what is it? Tony Robbins. Most people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate
Yeah.
what they can do in a decade.
Yeah.
So I think for any long-term plan, I think that makes it much more feasible to achieve. So
Man, thank you for sharing that. I totally agree because if you set it to be 1-2 years, if you didn't hit that, you might feel like a failure. You might re-question your whole career. Let's say if you didn't get it time and time again, but you just expanded the time horizon. I think that's such a good point. Is if you guys expand the time horizon for your goal, let's say you want to make $1 million. Let's say you want to help 1,000 people who are suffering from X. You want to get 3 degrees. I don't know. Virtually anything is possible with a long enough time horizon. Therefore, making it near impossible to fail. That's a very good point. So when you guys are setting these goals, be very mindful of the timeline you're setting. Because none of you in this call or watching this back are average. It's within all of your means for all of everybody in here. I really believe that. Because if you're here, you're a certain type of thinker. To make hundreds of thousands of dollars, I don't think it makes it even less likely for some of you to hit a 7-figure, but hundreds of thousands and beyond the average, absolutely. But if you're expecting that in a year versus 5 years, it dramatically changes the expectation of life and reality. But look, for some people, if they can put a lot of pressure on themselves to achieve a goal in a short amount of time, and they can thrive in that. So you have to be very aware of who you are and accepting that if you don't achieve your goal in a certain time frame, what would you do? Would you give it up? Would it be a cataclysmic catastrophe? Or would you just regroup, reassess, and keep moving? Because if it's the second, then you can set aggressive goals and just adapt and pivot. Anybody else got anything they want to share before we get into the meat? All right. Goal constellation mapping is what I've called this. Here is the diagram. And if you guys like, I can share with you the diagram. Just let me know. Most people, they just focus on the middle part. Let's set a goal. And we're missing all of these other components to create that. But we're going to focus with the first one, and we're going to sit down and do some writing here. Number 1, the primary goal. We're going to start with this. the main goal. This is a spiderweb diagram. What I'm trying to show you here is what you should focus on. In the red, these are all major components of life: love, relationships, health, money, leisure, self-actualization, family, friends. Okay? In the red, technically, you can live without them. Like you can stay alive and live without them. In the green, health and money, you cannot. You cannot. Even if you're a homeless person, you're relying on the money of the goodwill of strangers to help you survive, or charity. So, if you want to, therefore, that's why I believe all of your primary goals should be focused on health and money. And if you're skeptical of this, money can improve everything in this web. It has the biggest lever and leverage. Your family's sick, you got a funeral to pay for, money. You can be the person to help them. You're in a relationship and you want to travel together and you want to buy each other nice things and go to a nice dinner, money. Self-actualization, books aren't free, the internet's not free. Like you're paying for that, you're paying for access to that. Courses, etc. Leisure, entertainment costs money. All of this costs money. So that everything in your life can be improved, virtually everything, by making more money. Marriages last longer. The divorce rates are lower in people with incomes between $200,000 to $500,000. Like I have a diagram somewhere in here I can show you later. But divorce rates are highest in people who are of lower income. Health, well, that's obvious. You can't pay for a doctor, a health professional, a specialist, someone like me, anybody without money. So, therefore, hopefully I've made the point. When you set this goal, the main goal, we should have a health component and a money component. If your health is all good and it's not getting in the way at all of what you're doing, then that's fine. But the more energy, vitality, the less pain and suffering, and the more your psychology is healthy, the better you can perform in all areas of your life. So that's why there's a health component, because health is wealth. Health is a wealth-generating component, capacity. Health is a wealth-generating category. I have energy all day. That helps me contribute to the world, make money, and be of service. If you do not, then that's something to improve. So you should have all written down, the main goal. And if you want me to go back, you can. This is the Venn diagram you can draw. But we'll keep building on it. We'll come back to it. So I've said this. Let's give an example. I'd love if you guys can either write down. You can either write down in here. In the chat. What your main goal might be. If you're okay sharing, I'd love that. This is relevant to anybody running a service business, 100K a year, 25 clients times 79. Let's give some other examples. Fix my gut and fatigue issues. That's a health-related goal. And I'm working with you, some of you. So now you're going to do it. Bottom left corner is this little brain and written emoji. Now that's you guys. So I'm going to give you guys, this is the point, we're doing this live. I'm going to give you guys 5 to 10 minutes to do this, to write down your main goal. And once you come up with it, I would love if you could share, either voice or written. Yeah, one for health and one for money. That's right, Lockie. And you can break it down in stages as well. That would be smart. And I would recommend you add a timeline as well. But we just need a direction first. Health and money. What do you want? Could be $1 million, but then you got to break it down. Blood work, symptom, 12% body fat, 100 people this year. Nice, nice, nice. Fuck yeah, love that, boy. Love that. It's ambitious. Great. Let's do it. Christian, I want you writing these down. I see you.
His laptop is dead, so
Go
we're waiting for it to come back to life.
All right, cool. We can do the phone too. Jacob, 300K, 38 clients paying 150 a week. Okay, cool. Nice. 20 clients, 89 minimum. Awesome. That's really attainable. Did we do health though? Would like a health one, Jacob and M? By any means. Great answer. Okay. Let's do a health one as well, guys. Sinuses. Okay. Let's also add a timeline. For all of you, add a timeline. And you can break it down in stages. Two years. Interesting. Okay. Ewan, run half a marathon at a 5-minute, oh, they're coming in, 5-minute kilometer pace, make 80K per year with a combination of working in sport and maybe own business. Okay. Yeah, we're going to have to get clear on that, Ewan. Ewan, with the sport that you're working in now, is there anyone in your current work environment who's making that money? And then you'd ask yourself, can you do that? And do you want to do that job? That's an actual question. It's not rhetorical.
Not that I know of at the moment, to be honest.
If there's no one doing that, then you have to ask, how will you do something that hasn't been done in the business you're working for? Because if you said there was someone, I'd just say, okay, let's work to get a promotion there, right? But if there's no one doing that, then you either have to be so valuable, you have to create your own role. You have to be so valuable that they do something they've never done before. Possible, but it's harder. But I think maybe own a business, it's either going to be, it has to be that, or it's going to have to be a change of job. It's either in the role, change of job, and or with a new business. I'd ask them, bro. I'd go straight up. I'd just be, guys, this is a very good question to ask. It's low ego. And the example is this: when you need someone else to give you something, you ask them, what would I have to do to earn $80,000 in this company? What could I do? What type of value could I give? What could I do to earn it? The word is earn. What would be fair? Big difference between I want to make $80,000, I want a raise or a promotion because of XYZ. Massive difference in context. We got them coming through. Love this, guys. Love this, guys. All right. 2 years sinuses, Jacob. I think you can do that faster. Reese, €5,000 per month with non-client facing location independent business by end of 2025. Yeah, I think that's attainable. Jean-Claude Von Damme chair splits by 2025. Okay, let's go. That's great. Ryan, that's good. That's a good goal. 6 to 7 new clients per month. Yeah, that's going to require a diligent plan. A diligent plan and lead acquisition strategies. Yeah, man. 7 hours of sleep per night. That's a big foundation while managing 5 a.m. gym routine. Yep, let's talk about frequency. Like, let's get specified. What do you want? 3, 4, 5 times a week? 3 to 5. Dry 90 kilos lean within 2 years. Okay, I hope you did that math. You got to break that down. 300 to 500 grams gain per week. Does that get you there in 2 years or faster? $150K within 2 years. I definitely, yeah, I think that's a really reasonable goal. Good time horizon. Tyler, fully online coaching business within 2 years. At minimum, support my basic needs. 20 clients paying 78. Yeah, that's good. You've got breaking it down. Faison, working on getting my heels fixed till March and then focusing on bettering myself in the gym to be able to start running half marathons. Yeah, let's get specific, Faison. And when you write that down, it's like, what do you mean by bettering yourself? That's quite general. And what does heels fixed mean? What does the pain have to be? 0, 1, 2 out of 10? Because, a little bit of pain is okay. 340 kilo total. Let's go. Jimena, fix my gut issues and sleep pattern and make 80,000 within 2 years. I assume that's Australian. Within 2 years? I mean, I assume that's per year. Yeah, I got you with the gut issues. Completely fix gut health by this year, Lockie. Money 500K before 30 years old. Nice. 200K by this year. Increase revenue 50K every year. Okay, that's great. I like the step by step. But Lockie did that well. 50K by every year. You guys are gonna need to do step by step. And then once you have the 50, you're gonna have to be like, okay, what do I need to do? How many clients? How many people? How many promotions? What do I need? What's the steps in between that? And I'm gonna help you do that, but you're gonna need to get clear on it. Jamie Brooker, 150K in the next 3 years. Optimize blood work by end of the year. Yeah, okay, cool. Y'all got to be specific. What do you mean by optimize? Does you mean just you want someone to look at it like me? Because that's easy. We can do that tomorrow. Or something else. Nice, Matt. Yeah, good clarity. I see you. Joey, 2 tries. For those who don't know, Joey's, a lot of people in here are my clients or students or former or current. Joey is probably the best built person I've seen to run long distance endurance events. He's built for it. So he wants to compete 2 tries, 1 in each half of the year, run half mara by July, 5:15 split. Gain 5 kilos by July. Let's go. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Invest $50 per week into my investment portfolio. Okay. I reckon we can go more aggressive than that because I know your situation. I think we can definitely be more assertive there. But let's think if you have that's a good goal. Invest something into an investment portfolio. I recommend that for anybody making over 100K and who has their expenses covered and you're making a 20-30+% profit margin. This is a strategy I recommend. But $50 per week is pretty conservative. It's a good starting place. It's okay starting place. But I would love to get that to $500 a week. So then you can make more ROI on the back end.
Did you say investing? Sorry?
Yeah, investing.
Okay. Investing into what?
Oh, that's another course. Come next week to my new course. For those who don't know, go watch my money mastery course on my website and my YouTube. But let's tackle that one later on. First, we need the money. Oh, Joey clarified. $50 more. Haha. Thank you, Joey. All right. So y'all have the main goals. Cool. Thank you. Good job. Now, that's where people stop. They're done. This is what most people have done. They've just written this down and they've gone about their day. I've done my goal setting. Dios mío, Jimena. That's Spanish. She's Spanish. Support goals. What's next? We actually like that. We have defensive goals and offensive goals, but I'm going to start by defining support goals, which will help you with your main goal. First, let's define it. Support goals help you accomplish the main goal, very simply. They're what we call leading indicators. Let's define defensive goals. These are goals, or these are things that stop you from accomplishing your main goal. You need to have armoring, shields, against these things that can stop you from accomplishing your main goal. Example. Things you need to remove or change in your environment that stand in your way. And we're doing this right now. We're gonna write down what are your defensive goals, okay? So if you have ideas, write them now. If you're constantly fatigued, sleep deprived, you get sick, you need to have a defensive goal to combat that. That could be, I need to get my blood work done. I need Strength of Saad to look at my blood work. Or anyone, doesn't have to be me. If it's fatigue, sleep deprived, you might want to get a coach, a health professional to take care of you. One of your goals, Maddie, that was a defensive goal. It was like, all right, I need at least 7 hours of sleep because it protects against something that can get in the way of your main goal. This is a good one for those who are in a relationship or inevitably will be in one. If you don't spend at least 90 minutes per week and have at least one date night per week, you likely do not have enough time in your relationship to build it, to build connection and love and intimacy. 90 minutes, at least one date night. That's again from Jordan Peterson. So that's a defensive goal. Because if you don't have that, then you can have a lot of turmoil in your relationship. You get a lot of reactivity that can knock you off from your main goal. For those who live at home, I know some of you have, some of you want to move out. I know what it's like to grow up in a stressful, challenging, tumultuous environment. When I moved out many, many years ago, it was such a good move and defensive goal for my well-being. I was more productive. I was calmer. Much less stressed. So can anybody share a couple of defensive goals? Ewan, tell me.
I think one of the so for my goal at the moment, trying to run a half marathon.
Yeah.
I currently live in a very hilly suburb, and I think one of the ways that I've tried to avoid, I really hate running on hills, because it changes my pace. I go a lot slower. I work so much harder. It sucks. So one of the ways I've been changing that, I've been changing my mindset a little bit, being like, all right, most people will drive maybe 10, 15 minutes to the gym. So why can't I just do that for a run? Go to a really good running track and actually make my running more enjoyable by going to a spot I actually want to go.
I like that.
So
that's a great example. Because you're defending against the unreliable or unspecific conditions of what the race would look like. Good one. Maybe one other person? Or you can type it. 3 meals a day and then logging the food you're eating. Okay, tell me about that, Faizan. How is 3 meals a day defensive? You know, how does it remove or change something that's harmful to you right now?
Um, because I would say currently I'm not eating much.
Mm.
I'm like I skip breakfast, I skip dinner as well if I'm too tired most of the time. I just don't feel like eating, so I don't have a very good relationship with food right now.
Okay. Okay then. Well, that'll be a good step forward to help develop consistency. Okay. Jai.
I had one. It was avoid alcohol.
That's
I
a
just set a
great
goal
one.
for a year. I don't particularly. I'm not the biggest drinker anyway, but I thought the mindfulness that comes along with this setting the goal of not actually drinking for a year, it takes away the thoughts related to like the social pressure. Physiologically, it doesn't align with my goals. I don't personally enjoy it that much, so I thought that's a defensive goal I could set for myself, and that I am trying to do.
That's really good. That's a perfect example of a defensive goal. And it's very effective. And if you have relationship goals, because for those who are particularly perceptive, you'll realize, where are we going? Where's my diagram? This one. We're focusing on health and money. You can have love, relationships, family, friends, self-actualization, and leisure goals too. We'll put those in your calendar. But when you have those goals, you'll realize that Jai's goal he just set actually improves his love, his relationships, his family, his friends, and his self-actualization, and money. So if you have a goal to improve the quality of your relationships in your life, or improve your dating experience, not drinking is going to help that. Boyd, setting boundaries in relationships and expectations. I know that's probably a personal one, but I would get really clear on that. Like you got to be clear on what setting boundaries in relationships and expectations means. And that's relevant to all of us. What boundaries do you need to set? You know, because we're A-type personalities, we like to work, we like to, all right, let's go, let's hustle. And it can leave, you know what they say, if you don't sacrifice for your goals become a sacrifice. Some of those sacrifices can be relationships, love, intimacy, connection. It can be very lonely being an entrepreneur. It can be very lonely, you know. Matt wants to do the bar. It's like, man, it's going to take a lot from him. And he's going to have to do some due diligence to make sure, well, hopefully he doesn't, unless he wants to, he doesn't remove all connection from his life. It's a great suggestion, Em. Clear time blocks with your partner. Put it in the calendar, guys. Speak from experience. Put it in the calendar. Yeah, so look, you might find that investing in Trinity, which is my mentorship for those who don't know, is it might be an offensive goal, but it could be both.
I think I think it. I see it a bit as defensive as well, because I just don't see a way to fail if you're a mentor.
That means a lot to me, man. Thank you. And I love that belief and commitment. Like, if any of you feel like that around someone else in your life, man, go all in. I believe that with my mentor. Every single time I talk to him, it's like, just look at the world differently. Thank you. Reese, I'm going to talk to you guys about one-time decisions. Yes, Faizan, shout out to Coach. Love that. One-time decisions that can improve your quality of life. Why don't you go to Amazon.com and get you one of these magic standing desks, because a lot of us sit for a long time. And it'll improve your energy, your productivity. and your vigor. What do you want, Jai? How'd you get what you were on? Where'd you get that from?
Got it from a homie. Got it from a homie. It's great. I actually notice I don't even fidget when I use it or anything like that. Gives me something to do. The standing treadmill
Yeah, Jai.
and the standing desk.
Yeah, game changer. See, Jai won that. Jai won that, because he was in a workshop of mine. So there you go. You turn up, you win things. Let's go to offensive goals right now. We have defensive goals, and if you need more time to write them out, spend more time to write them out. Offensive goals now. These are directly helping achieve the main goal. So you're not protecting against you. This is more assertive now. Offensive goals, things that help you accomplish, things you need to add, e.g., get the standing desk. But that's defensive as well, so it's combo. Get 20. Okay, so let's say you want 25 clients. You want 25 of something. You're gonna. What's the offensive goal? You're gonna learn how to do cold and warm outreach. You're gonna reach out to 5 cold and 5 warm leads per day. That's an offensive goal. Let's say you want to. I like making like relevant goals to people's lives that people can understand. Let's say you want to find a quality, good relationship. Let's say you want to build your confidence with women. Well, approach not just women, approach 5 people per day and smile at them or say hello to them or give them a compliment. You'll build your confidence that way. That's an offensive goal. A defensive goal would be making yourself more attractive. Okay, let's make sure, I've gone to the barber, I'm well groomed, I'm dressing something and that's appropriate. Offensive goals. So I want you guys to write them down right now. Get 2 pay rises in 16 months. All right. So who said that? Someone's. I think it was you, Ewan. Yeah. So this would be good for you, Ewan. All right. Let's say you want to get 2 pay rises in 16 months. You got to sit down with your boss and you have to strategize a plan to become exceptionally valuable at the company. All right. What do I have to? Okay. So that's one thing. All right. What else do I have to do? Well, I have to work overtime. So what do you guys have to do? Sometimes some of you will have to study more. That's an offensive goal. Study time. How much are you going to study and learn per day? Do you have a block in your calendar where you learn and study and read and stay accountable? That says shop up 20 minutes early. That should say show up 20 minutes early. And stay 20 minutes later. These are offensive goals. Like maybe you want to post on social media 5 days a week because you want to grow your online business. There's going to be many of these. So let's spend a few moments here to share and write down the offensive goals that are going to help with the main goal. There'll be health, offensive goals, and money, offensive goals. There'll be health, defensive goals, and health, offensive goals. Could be buy a standing desk. It could be buy a metal water bottle. Yes. Yes. Yes, Ewan, great. So then you'd write a list. Okay, what are the top 3? Okay, then you have to write, okay, when am I going to reach out to them? Then you reach out. That's the bottom one is actually one of my offensive goals. I need to get back to posting at least 5 days a week. One of my offensive goals is reading / listening to an audiobook for 30 minutes every day. I read consistently, but I want to make it every day. I don't want to just do it every second day. One of my defensive goals for my health is boxing and martial arts. This is one of my offensive goals. I have a goal to share a certain amount, I won't tell you what amount, but a certain amount of complimentary free content and workshops and ebooks to help people. Because I want to build so much, I'll just be transparent with you, I want to build so much trust and connection with my audience and my community that when they think, oh, who can help me grow my business? Who can help me with my health? Who can help me, as a health professional and coach? I want to be one of the first people they think of because I want to give them so much. So that's one of my goals. Reese, surround myself with people who are on the same journey or online courses, 30 minutes a day. I think you could do both. You have to define, what do you mean by same journey? Where are those people? Are those people in gyms? Are those people in, I think Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and boxing gyms and things like this are one of the best places you can go to find strong, ambitious, like-minded people. And you have to narrow down what courses. Phase on, increasing my skill set in social media marketing by studying online courses, 30 minutes a day. Great, there is so much stuff on YouTube. Or Mosey, $100 million leads. What else? I want to hear from some of my Trinity guys. Offensive goals. It should be a list. Should be many points, not just one. Nice point. That's very specific. That's very good. One ebook. Yes, very good, Kiara. Share one. Honestly, for anybody listening to this who has a business in any industry who wants to grow it, they should be sharing free resources consistently. Boyd, Audible, 20 minutes daily. Lovely. What did I say? Yes. Introduce myself to every new member of the gym. That's very good. You have a connection with a lot of new people. And when they want a PT, some of them will think of you. 100 words per minute. That's so practical, Matt. You're going to have to do so much typing, I imagine. 100 words per minute. I know there are speed reading courses to read faster, and I know there's speed typing courses. Ewan, ensure the habits that I'm doing daily, every day, are things that you preach to my clients. So I preach to your clients.
Sorry, I meant to say the things that I'd preach to my clients. Sorry.
Okay. So being congruent, making sure you're living what you're saying. Then you would write down, what are those habits? And then you're like, do I do this? Yes. Do I not? No. Why? Next. Okay, how do I fix that? 50, 30 minutes of Espanol each day. Great. Don, this is good. Yes, 5 days a week on Instagram. Reach out to 5 cold leads per day. Good. One lead magnet ebook per quarter. Start email marketing. And then I would connect that. How frequently? Because you can start email marketing and not do email marketing. If you give yourself a number to stay accountable to, you'll actually get the result you're looking for. 1 lead magnet in ebook per quarter. I would push that. I would do that more frequently. I would try and do it every 2 months, every month. If you think about you could potentially 4x. If you're doing it 4x the frequency, you could potentially 4x the outcome. Good. See, this is good. So, I mean, look at some of the other guys are saying. So this is essentially some of the competition is like they're going to share every month. Tyler's going to share every month. Make 3 calls to humans. 3 humans. Make calls to 3 humans each day, as opposed to make 3 calls to another species of animal. Ryan, be on 2 podcasts per week. You mean as a guest? Are you Joe Rogan?
It's been quite consistent for the last 2 months. So
My
yeah, it's been a
man.
good lead gen for me.
Now I didn't know that. So that's been consistent. Are you reaching out to them or are they reaching to you?
At first, I was reaching out to them, and now I have people reaching out to me. But I still do. I spend a lot of time doing outreach to get on podcasts because I would say a majority of my clients actually come from me tapping into other people's audiences through podcasts.
Really?
Yeah, bro. Definitely leverage that.
Good for you. Well, I mean, here's the thing though. You must have a story and or a respectable amount of credentials or experience to leverage that. What's your pitch?
Yeah, for sure. My story, my journey, and the value I have to add around men's work, and yeah, just having a specific line of expertise that I can speak to and share stories on for sure.
Okay, let me see. I love that. Ryan White. Okay, you're not the Ryan White with 3 million followers. That'd be dope.
Not yet.
Ah, a bigger beard from this DP. My man. Okay, let me share this. So this is Ryan, relationship and men's work. Okay, so this is his. So you're going to relationship based and men's based podcasts.
Yeah. Yep.
I love it. And are you collaborating with them on posts from the clips that you're sharing or they're sharing?
If the content's good, yeah, like you can see there's one there. Yeah. And then I've got a guest podcast reel as well, the highlight story.
Yeah.
If you jump in there, so when I reach out to people, they jump in there and they see, oh shit, okay. Like yeah, like the first one is.
Oh, this is great. Just taking initiative and reaching out. I think that this is a great point. A lot of us take a more passive approach to podcasts. We're like, we'll wait till someone reaches out to us, but you're absolutely going on the forefront. And it is a marketing strategy that, I'll be honest, I have not pushed with my students or even myself. So, man, props to you for leveraging that.
Yeah, I've also got a resume I basically send them as well, and like an outreach strategy.
You don't have to.
So it's like
but would you mind screenshotting and sending me that?
Yeah, brother. Yeah.
My man, thank you. Okay. There you go, guys. There's some inspiration for you. That's relevant for anybody who has a story and wants to get their voice out there. Offensive goals. Another one. Invest 30% of your income into investing in yourself. So remember, they're around money and health. All right. I don't usually do this, but I know for my students, but because we're doing a public call, I'm gonna do it. We'll take a 1-2 minute break for y'all to stand up, go to the bathroom, do your business. I'll be here if you want to bring anything else up. Come back in 1 to 2 minutes, and we'll keep rolling for this next hour. Trinity guys will be like, oh my God, this is the first break we've taken in 1 year. I usually just roll through 2 hours.
I sent that on
IG?
your business IG, yeah.
Thank you. Have a look. Do you mind if I share my screen for those who still are here?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, thank you. So this is basically the pitch. Okay. Mentor, business owner, personal development coach, tap into true value. Yeah, that's good. How many people you've coached? good. Succinct. You have something, a storytelling at the bottom, and then you have dot points of that are more, selling points, pitches. This is good. There you go. Who do I think? I think, yeah, a lot of you guys could do the same.
And if anyone has a podcast on here, let's go.
There you go. Always, yes. What city are you based from?
I'm on the Sunshine Coast at the moment, bro. I just moved back home from Bali.
Okay. Do you have you want? I love putting people on. So link your favorite podcast that you've done that you think the guys in here and girls in here could enjoy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And then maybe that starts, a conversation. Love that. We're going about 30 seconds. I'm gonna change that lighting. Bang, bang. All right. Number 3. Mother's 72nd. Lord. All right. Tell her happy birthday, and I hope she's still setting goals. Send her the workshop.
She is, mate. She's a trooper.
She's
a trooper. She's a good bird. So
I love that.
yeah, she's long-term meditator. You'd think she's 50.
Really?
TM. Yeah.
So is that where you get it from? Where a lot of the inspiration or maybe the early interest in health?
Potentially, mate. Growing up in a family that was all revolved around Ayurvedic health and all that sort of stuff, and vegetarian from a very young age, you build up a bit of resentment to it because you're exposed to it so early.
And
So
you're forced into it,
mate. So yeah. Look, on the other side, very grateful to be brought up in a household that meditated and did all that sort of stuff. I value it now, but sort of that adolescent period and whatnot, you're kind of like pushing it away.
Yeah,
People
that makes
around.
sense because you're kind of forced into it. But I'm glad you came, and I hope you watched the end of it, the last hour.
Mate, no. I will. I've probably got about another 5-10 minutes here anyway, but I will have to run. But it's been amazing.
All right, cool. Number 3, result goals. And if anybody else has a 73rd or 72nd or 80th birthday, let me know. Because you should never stop setting goals. And even if the goal is to live another year, so let me just get another year. Result goals. So now we've done the left. Main goal, defensive, offensive. Okay, support goals. Now we have result goals. These are outcomes that will happen as a result of you accomplishing the main goal. The outcomes. First, self. I mean, the outcome, an example is, I would have said my goal was to move to New York, but that's actually the outcome goal. That's not the main goal. The main goal would be make enough money and be healthy enough to do that. Oops. These are things you want for yourself, guys. So this is you right now, right? You want the nice car. You want the nice home near the water. You want to buy your first suit. Like, this is the time to have guilt-free experience. And it could be as simple as being able to eat out while not looking at the bill. And then you move to New York City, and then you're like, oh, hang on a minute. What are these 37 surcharges? Oh, don't forget tax. They just make up fees. I swear to you, they just make up fees all the time. It's like, what is this service charge? It's all a fugazi. Tips. Default's 20%. You even tip Uber. You tip people who deliver things to your door. And if you don't tip, You know what could happen. Anyway, don't judge yourself by your pleasures and joys. Okay, so this is guys. I want you to tell me, like, from the Aston Martin DBS, that's me. I wrote that down. Love Aston Martins. Love James Bond. And just love that car and love cars. So that's an indulgence that I enjoy. So I don't care about anybody's judgment, whether they think, oh, that's a waste of money. It's irrelevant. So don't let the others' judgments come into this. I'd love to hear, guys, what do you want for yourself? Because it's a nice materialistic thing that can feel good, and it's a look. For as crazy as my mind is, I believe for a lot of people, you should still enjoy life. You know, like not everything has to be for you. Discipline and work and obsession. It's okay to want nice things. So tell me. This one's quick and easy. Boyd, before you get out of here, I'd like to know.
The nice things. Mate, I've written this stuff down before, and this is probably a bigger picture, but yeah, man, like, yeah, great James Bond like suits, finesse clothing, a beautiful home, and mate, being able to have great dinners out.
Yep.
I had one out last night, which was amazing, and went to ask what the market price steak was, and it was $205. So I opted for it was still a date night type of dinner, but opted for the $80, which is still, it can be seen as excessive, but that was the evening anyway. But yeah, look, what else? Yeah.
Great. Food experiences, clothing, and cars.
Yeah.
Eat out without worrying about the bill. I completely understand this feeling. Not feel bad about wanting to spend money, new clothes. Travel overseas once a year. I know how much traveling is important. You live in a house near the beach. Love that. Ewan, go on multiple holidays per year. Where do you want to go? Australia, international, Antarctica. Matt, Don, love this. Take 4 to 6 weeks off in-person coaching. Yeah. You could go online during that time. You could take... If you take it completely off... You probably, I assume you're meaning at different times, maybe not all in one go. Joey, buy a new tri-bike. New caravan. I don't even, yeah, that's even, maybe that's a self-goal. New caravan to make camping with family and friends more comfortable. Love it. Clothes without looking at the price. Jai, I know you love clothes. International flights on a whim. I'm going to help you guys do that with my How to Fly for Free Masterclass. I'm plugging a new masterclass that I will do eventually. Christian, get a jet ski. Woo! Ryan, speaking on stage around the world. 100K following, insane studio setup, AMG Mercedes. Really, the main self-goal is AMG, because I think all of the others is actually for other people as well. Speaking on stage helps people. 100K following, that is self, but it's also others. Insane studio setup. Love that. Yes, business class flying. Take up go-karting as a weekly hobby. Motorsport is a great black hole to throw money into. Yeah, I'm actually coaching a motorsport coach right now. Love that. Now, motorsport can be pretty expensive, though. I know that. Bikes run high.
I have to say that I have seen, even when people are setting body compositional goals, they shy away from actually owning what they actually want to see because of the shame associated being too materialistic.
Wow. One more time. Can you say that again for me?
I've always found that people actually they don't allow themselves to actually express what they actually want to see or achieve because they see doing something as too materialistic in the process of pursuit of the goal that they actually want. So they'll actually avoid the thing because it seems too materialistic, and that's associated with shame.
Who does that? Who's done that? I've done it. Even the idea of making money. Crazy. It's almost like, the old idea of like making money is like
Yeah, it's like, I want to build my biceps. Fucking great. Say it.
Yeah.
Like, just fucking own it.
Yeah.
And let's do the work to make it happen.
100%.
Like, whatever. Like, who cares? Like, who fucking cares? Want to build an ass? Go do some hip thrusts.
Try to do the accent. Usually I'm the one doing
I
the
have
accents.
to-
I love it.
I have to go though. But Alex,
Why'd
I
you
really
bring your
think-
72-year-old mother here?
Oh, I've got to go to where she is. But
Oh, I see.
look, I'll get her on the next one though, mate. She's done a bit of her blood work and everything, so gonna help her with that and get her on track and continue to have her longevity. So
Well, thank you for your energy and positivity today. If you want to listen to it in the car, you're welcome to it with the video off. But I'd love to hear your feedback later. But thanks for the input, Boyd.
Really valuable, really good insight. This is probably an element where I've probably been limited at, is more that step-by-step process of like actually breaking down goals better so you can have a better visual sight. So I think it's been really valuable.
Appreciate it. We're just getting started.
Yeah, I know. I mean, mate, you got to speed up.
Oh, well, my work. All right, let's go. Tyler, work from wherever I want in the world, be able to pick whatever I want off a menu, pay for bills, buy clothes without having to think about it. Yeah. And so when you guys say you want to work wherever you want around the world to be able to travel, you need to get clear on how much that costs you. Do the math. Do the math. Write down. Okay. Because you'll be surprised. Like some of these hobbies and habits and things you want, like some of you could do a version of that now or in the near future. You'd be surprised. So especially once I show you how to fly for cheap, things will open up. You save thousands of dollars. But write down how much it's going to cost you. Third world or low socioeconomic countries, Southeast Asia, Africa, besides the flight tickets, you do not need a lot of money. You do not. My sister, when she did it, she wasn't making much money. And she was living in different Southeast Asian countries, volunteering, working at sanctuaries with animals, because she loves animals, elephant park, and she would take care of them. Or in an exchange, you get to an exchange. You get to live in this area for free. You help them out. You just pay for something small, and then you can live there. So some of the stuff that you guys want to do, whether it's a month trip in Bali or Thailand, can be done on a budget, and you get to immerse yourself in a different culture. There's a website I'm forgetting that you can house sit or animal sit, and you can live in the house in any country in the world, and you just need to take care of the animal, the little farm thing they have, and accommodation's taken care of. I'll try and remember the website.
Trusted house sitters.
What's it called? Trusted Houses?
Trusted house sitters.
Thank you. Anybody done this? Come on, man. Come on, son. The goals that you have are within reach. All right. Now, and for those who just jumped in, welcome. Result goals. This is the other component. Other. Tell Clark to set his goals. M. Outcomes that will happen as a result of you accomplishing the main goal. But the other goals, this is for other people. So the one where it's you want to step on stage and with whatever, 1,000 people, that's an altruistic goal. What do you want to do to help other people? You want to help 1,000 people solve X problem? You want to work with X amount of people, take your parents on a holiday, be able to give money to homeless people every time you walk past them? Cover medical bills for your family? Okay. We want to be able to afford a $10,000 bill for your parents' funeral so your family doesn't descend into the depths of hell as they're grieving because they don't have money. This is very real. That last situation, I've been in a version of that situation. Unfortunately, the bill was much higher. Thank you, Matt. What have we got? Yeah, that's so beautiful. Assisting the tuition fees for nephews. I love that. Education is the passport to the future. My kids to private school. All right, how much is that going to cost, Lockie? If you had to do it tomorrow.
Probably rough guess, maybe.
Go look that up.
I don't know.
Yeah, look it up.
250, 300K each.
Total for all the schooling. Yep. All right, so maybe it's 20, 30K a year, 40K.
Yep.
Really puts things into perspective. It's like doing a Trinity every single year for like 8 years, 6 years. By then, I'll have a Trinity for kids.
My kids will be the first ones to sign up.
Oh, mate. I'd love that. That's really long life cycle. Coach 300 athletes from local clubs, excluding the academy, through speed clinics to bring sports science, usually reserved for athletes. Okay. Yeah, 300. So, Don, how much are you up to so far?
Actually, saying that the first one did have 100 in it, so maybe I need to up that up.
That's awesome. Well, in that case, the goal would be to deliver a certain amount of clinics.
Yeah.
Do you know how many clinics you would need to do?
To get that amount?
Yeah.
It depends on if it's an academy or like a squad, or if it's a team. If it's a team, then it's only 30 people per team. If it's a squad, it could be up to 80.
All right. So probably at least a handful, maybe.
Yeah.
Let's go. The part of that goal underneath that is then to reach out to X amount of clubs, reach out to 2 new clubs, or maybe 1 new club every fortnight. Not even. That's probably because not everyone's going to say yes. Maybe like 3 new clubs every week. Love this. Wants to buy Clark a dream car as a thank you. He'd love that. Faison. Send $850 a month helping my little brother with rent in Barcelona. It's very altruistic. Helping through flight school. It's beautiful. Beautiful. See, guys, it's not about you anymore. Now, you got to think, like, when times get hard, dip your hand into this cookie jar of inspiration. This ain't even about you anymore. It's about your kids, your future kids, your nephews. It's about your partner. It's about, man, Don, you can have 300 lives you can change. Man, put a poster up in your room. Like, okay, here's the advanced stuff. You want to put a visual image in your environment of what you're pursuing and why you're doing what you're doing. Reese, you got a timeline before they get too old. The Ginos. You got a timeline. I would put a photo up of them in your office, in your phone. And if that's a strong driver for you, Reese and everyone else, is like put a photo up on your screen of what is driving you. Because when you want to stop, when you want to quit, when you want to take a break, like they're counting on you. All right. Game plan. A lot of you are going to ask, what do you need to achieve the goal? Wrong. What do I need to make failure impossible? What do you need to do to make failure impossible? This is the level of I approach life. I understand that not everybody's going to be able to, not everybody's going to rise to this level of commitment. Fine. You don't get what you want, you get what you need to have. You don't get what you want, you get what you need to have. Oh, I didn't actually know I put that there. There you go. And if you ask yourself honestly, have you really put that amount of effort into anything in your life where you just said, I'm going to get it. I need to have this. That's the level of energy and commitment that I'm holding you all accountable to. So here's what we need to do. You have a goal. You have a task. Most people just focus on the goal. No. It's everything else underneath it. It's the leading indicators. Okay, let me show you. You have to do a series of, you're going to write this down. You're writing this down right now. You have a series of one-time tasks you have to do. For example, one of my one-time tasks, I needed to reach out to Reese so he could set up and make my websites amazing. Set up a booking system, set up a debit system, set up a good Google Calendar. Buy this. There's like a one-time purchase you have to do. Habits. Post on Instagram every day. 8 hours sleep. 1 hour on business every day. Train 4 days a week. You have one time, and then you have habits. These will go under every single category we've done. Self, offensive, defensive goals, and support goals. And you're going to write them down. Right now. Which I realize is taking longer. Most people do not get to this level of detail. One-time habits, one-time tasks, and habits. Get clear for every support goal. For every support goal, every main goal. What are the one-time tasks and the habits that are going to get you to the money you want to make and the health you want to embody? Okay, I need to book that consult with this person. All right, I need to get that blood work done. I need to reach out to 10 new leads per week. I need to block in my calendar 1 hour of business every day. I need to set an alarm on my phone to remind me to do this. Tyler has posts on social media 4 days a week. That's the habit, but then you need to sit down and do the recording. So that's actually the output. The habit is I need to sit down and record once a week for 1 hour. Jai, you would need to reach out to hire a teacher, a Spanish teacher. That's not Jimena. Kiara, learn the names of 5 people on the gym floor. We need a way to track that. Type them in. Let me know. MM.
For my goal of, reaching 20 online clients or, something like that, and the money side of things, what would be like a one-time, I'm trying to think of like a one-time task that I need to do for that. Like, okay, join Trinity, like like I've got habits.
You might not need a one-time task for getting clients. I'm not sure because a lot of those are habits.
Yeah.
We'd have to talk about that more. If it comes up in one of our calls, let me know. But if it comes up later, write it down. But I'm not sure. You need habits there as the primary purpose.
Yeah.
You just need to be super consistent, all of you, with that. Who was it? Was it? Ryan, how many podcasts do you reach out to per month?
I'd say probably 20 per month.
20?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. You have a system for it? Do you have a system of like, I do it at this time, it's blocked out, or is it random?
It's in my like, I will set out time for it. When I feel like it, I'll be like, cool, all right, today I'm going to set out an hour and I'm just going to boom for an hour. So I'd probably send out that 20 within the hour as well.
Wicked.
So I'd probably do that. Yeah.
See,
yeah.
we underestimate actually, or we overestimate how long some of these things take us. If you have say, Ryan, for example, the one-time habit is set up the podcast promo poster one time. The habit is reach out to 20 new per week per month. So you're doing really well there. I'm going to take it to a new level. Guys, keep typing in what your one-time habits are. This is absolutely key. And Faison, you're right. Like releasing one ebook per month, that's the habit. Except it's not. That's the outcome. When are you going to write it? You got to sit down and put in your calendar, I have to sit down and do content creation. For example, Thursdays is my day where I do my presentation for Trinity, and I sit down and I spend virtually the whole day or half the day doing that. The outcome is create the presentation, an amazing presentation. The habit in the calendar is to write, is to create. You have to have that. It's going to be like this. You're not going to be able to see very far into the future. It's going to be foggy, like driving in a foggy distance. That's okay. You focus on the next step. You might think, how am I going to get 30 clients? I didn't focus on that. I focused on the next one. And I didn't even focus on getting the client. It's like, how can I help somebody? This is why I don't want to sell anything on some of these calls and conversations. It's not like I'm not going to do it ever. I will. But I just want a more pure energy and intention. I want to let me give. So focus on the next step. This is where people miserably fail. Some of you watching this back, out of the hundreds of people that will watch this back, there will be people resistive to this. And I think they will fail. I think they will fail and absolutely fall short of their goals. And Ryan, I think this is how you elevate to another level, is that let's schedule this. Nah, not when we feel like it, when you have time. It's working well for you, but I think it could work better for you. Like, let's systemize this. This shit won't, for a lot of you, it won't get done by you saying it. You got to put it in your calendar and create the accountability of when to do it. Do this with your clients. It will change their life. Recurring tasks and habits go into the calendar so you don't have to think about it. Then one-time tasks do. You might think, oh my God, so rigid, so strict. It's freedom. It's your life, that you know where you're putting your life. It's not what do I do today? It's, I know what I'm doing today. I'm building my future. Life you don't just wake up one day happy, wealthy, with amazing relationships. You build that life. And then you live out of the calendar. Because that's the life you said you wanted. You're living out of the calendar. Who does this right now? I know some of my clients and students do, because I've actually told you to, but who does it now? Gotta raise my hand 100 times. All right, cool. Good. Now, for those who do it now, This is something that I would recommend you do for your clients, your patients, your people. All right, next. All right, this is just some examples. I've made. Some of you recognize, well, one of you will recognize this. Just an example of what your calendar can look like. You can say everything's scheduled in a nice, colored, orderly manner. You use colors. It makes it much more dopaminergic and engaging and interesting. You know. I have a separate workshop that maybe I'll do one day about time management, how to actually do all this, but you want to put everything in here. Here's another example. Yellow's the coaching. Green is health. He's got transport and driving in here. The weekends are more free. I would put that in there. For your weekends, I'd put relationship time, personal time, downtime. Put this calendar needs sleep. That's what it's missing. It's missing sleep. Put everything. And if you want to get really honest, record your day, write it down. Every half hour block of what you're doing. You'll be stunned about how much time that you end up wasting. It's a very honest mirror. If you're struggling with time, do that exercise, and it will change your life. I don't say that lightly. So we have the Google Calendar. Y'all will set that up later. You have to schedule. You have to put the one-time habits and the one-time tasks and the habits in the calendar. It must be done. And these are all habits and one-time habits. These are all one-time tasks and habits for your goal. Then you must track it. This is another one. Okay, we measure something, so we record something in the calendar. That's when you're going to do it. Then the tracking it is, did you do it? Now, I don't want to hear, I can't trust someone's word because our human memory is subject to a lot of biases, primacy, recency bias. We remember the start of a list and the end of a list and not the middle. You can plant false memories in people. Actually, that's interesting. I don't have time for it, but I wonder if Matt could talk about that. If you even write it down about your memory's so unreliable, people can like plant false memories just by suggesting certain things and implying things. And if something, some problem happened 5 years ago where someone was hurt or assaulted, and the whole story can get mucked up, and people can get sent to jail for not doing something or doing something that was a little bit different than what it was. Anyway. My systems and tools, I have emailed you. I've shown you Google Calendar. I would recommend for recording to tracking tasks is using monday.com, Notion. You can type in Notion habit tracker template. There's plenty online. We have our own tracking tracker, me and my business partner sell. Not a pitch, just explaining what I use. You need something to hold you accountable. Example, this is our coaching tracking. This is my money tracker. I've all sent you it. I want to ask if anybody doesn't record their money, but I also don't. I understand people might not feel comfortable because it's a problem. That's there. If you don't have it, you must record your money. It's a primary goal. You must absolutely record your money, and you must record your health. I've recorded every dollar that comes in and out. I could tell you my income, what I spent for the last 7 years, and every year I've made more money. And I believe, absolutely, a big part of that is because I'm aware of it. Because I know what's going on. Do not you can't just look at your bank account. That is unreliable. People make emotional decisions about money. You just get clear. And in this finance tracker, it's just, okay, here. You look here and you say, was I in a profit? Yes or no? Did I make more money? Did I stay the same? Did I go negative? You must record your money. Please. It's overwhelming how important this is. What gets measured gets improved. Awareness is key, and this is what it gives you. This is a snippet of a coaching tracker. Records habits, sleep, nutrition, everything, menstrual cycle. So this is where me and a lot of my clients and students record their KPIs and habits for their goals. You can use an app. You can use ours. You need to use something. You can use Notion Habit Tracker. I've given you guys a triage system. This is a task management system that I've created. It's in your email. This is how I work through tasks, is I just drag and drop to the most important priority. But I'll also put it in the chat for you. So things that's based on time, things that are the most pressing go at in level 1. And there's 1 to 2 weeks, level 2, 3 to 4 weeks. Because our brain, you'll think of all these new things that you have to do. So what I do, this is actually something I haven't shared with you, is I have things to write on. Or I carry this with me. Because things come into my mind. I'm like, oh, I got to do that thing, right? I got to send the Trinity itinerary. I got to program for Brent. I got to check Clark's bloods. I got to set up Reese with that document, right? So I write these down. They come to my mind, and then I'll put them in the triage system if I need. But at absolute minimum, I need to write them down. I really recommend Notion. And then Monday.com is something that I am likely about to use. It is this, and there's at the top, I showed you the screenshot because here's a bunch of other companies you can use if you don't like it. Yes. Wait, the Notion template of the habit tracker?
Yeah, is that in Notion?
Yes. Let me show you. So the reason I didn't give you one is because there's so many. So I've just Googled Notion habit tracker, and this is the first link I clicked, and you guys can see it's tick boxes, it's dates, there's all these different ones. So you can basically pick which one you like. There you go. Thanks for asking. This is Monday.com. Let me go to an area that makes sense. Oops. Main workspace. Life. This is what I want. This is what it's going to look like. And if this is a appearance and a UI UX that looks good to you, you can create tasks, you can create statuses, due dates, you can assign it with different people, low priority, high priority. It's kind of like a more sexy looking version of Notion for project task management. If you want to do this for your studies, your homework, whatever goals you have, and it has all these different views. So this is a Kanban board. There's all these different ways you can view it that make it very appealing. So that's planting a seed if you want to use Monday.com. If you're working in teams, I do recommend that. I've used it before when I used to own Orphic Education. So now you have some tools and systems. Now you have to go out in your own time and work on those tools and systems. You have to start using them because, okay, we're now tracking the habits and the one-time tasks. We've set them in the calendar. We're tracking them now. Must. This is why this thing takes so long. It's why it's a 2-hour call. Probably go over because there's layers. I mean, people just want to set their goals and think they're going to get everything they want in their life by writing for 20 minutes. I mean, if you're a magician, maybe. But even magicians practice. Does anybody have any questions or thoughts or anything they want to add? Maybe you have a tool or system that you love that you'd want to share. Hit me, Faizan.
So, just like as a client, I would say, like the habit tracker, at times can be very stressful as well, because like there's so many things going on and then you have to keep track on everything. And for me as a perfectionist, I'm like, if I'm not able to hit all of my goals in a week, I'm like, I get very stressed out. So I'm like trying to accomplish all the habits that I have, and like I really go stressed out with that. So how do I get over the stress of it?
Aim lower. If your goal is perfection, you will fail every time. This is a big conversation. What I would suggest is, instead of setting a goal, let's say, what is it? Train 4 days a week, 3 days a week? What is it?
Yeah, something like that.
We don't set a specific goal anymore. We set a range. So then I ask you, and you all will ask yourself, what's the minimum amount of training that you could do in your worst week?
Yeah, be 2 days a week.
2? Okay.
Yeah,
So you sure? Maybe one? We can play
maybe
with,
one.
right?
Yeah,
Worst week.
worst you could be one.
Okay. So you don't fail if you don't hit 4. You set a range. So, okay, I'm going to train 2 to 4 days a week. And you try to hit in that range. And you say, all right, can I do 2 weeks in a row? Okay, I did 2 weeks in a row. What about 3? And so then you build confidence. And then you can aim a little bit higher as you build that confidence. So one thing is set a range instead of a specific target. And you can do that for a lot of your habits. Second thing is you can hide the columns in the tracker. Jacob could help you do that. Just hide everything that's not relevant to you. 3 is you need to buy a book called Feeling Good. He's done it? Oh, we've already done it? Very good. Okay. I'm gonna link it to you. It's by David D. Burns. It's like a 50-year-old book. It's a book that was used to treat depression to a similar similar efficacy to antidepressant drugs. I'm not doing this because I think you're depressed. I'm doing this because inside it teaches you how to break through cognitive distortions. I'll probably do a workshop on this one day. It's that powerful. Cognitive distortions are ways we trick ourselves into looking at reality in distorted ways. All or nothing thinking, perfectionist mindset. These are cognitive distortions that stop you living the life that you ultimately could live. Audiobook, read it, watch a summary on YouTube, do whatever you have to do to start consuming that. I linked it.
Yeah, I got it.
I hope that helps. This is the last thing I'll leave you guys with. We won't be able to do this live on the call. This will turn the call into 3 to 4 hours. I call it Destiny's Ledger. This, done properly, not all of you will do it. Not all of you will be successful. Not all of you will reach your goals. Done properly, this will give you a virtually unlimited Rolodeck of fuel to rely upon in the hardest moments of your life. Death, famine, breakups, poverty, financial insecurity. It won't matter. I'm going to walk you through it, and I encourage you all not to get up from your desk and go scroll social media after we're done, or go do whatever bullshit people do after. I'm not trying to be contemptuous or disrespectful. I'm just speaking generally. I would ride the momentum of this call and do this. For those who have done it a year ago, some of my students, I would reflect upon it, find it. Where did you write it? If you can't even find what you wrote down a year ago, we got a problem. So you might need to rewrite it. And then you're going to make this visual. You're going to put this in your environment. You have to, what we're going to write down here, what you're going to dot point later, You got to keep visible. I think Jai's did this very well. I don't know if you still have it in your environment, Jai. Do you still have this?
Nah, it was in my other study area. I still have it saved.
Let's review it. Let's see nearly 1 year later if we got some updates. Because we've set the goals, the one-time habits, the tasks, that we put it in the calendar, then you track it. Amazing. But what happens when life gets hard and punches you in the face? Let me show you. The list of great. And again, credit to Brandon Carter for inspiring some of this. The list of great. And Jordan Peterson and many other psychologists. You're going to imagine a version of you who's accomplished all of your goals. The body, the lifestyle, the mindset, the money, the life. You write a list of those goals. Or you write a list of what that person looks like. It's not just goals, it's what that person looks like. This is now beyond money and health. Let's be very clear. You're painting the vision of what your ideal life looks like if it could aim towards the highest good possible. You know what? Because I can tell some of you guys, actually, I'm going to, would it be helpful if I shared this presentation? Can I just get a hand up if you want to get this presentation in your hands? I'm going to need more than 3 people. 7, 8, okay. Okay, that's enough. Everybody, thank you guys. Lovely. Don't worry about writing this down right now. But you can start writing the answers now if things are exciting you in your mind. You're going to write a list of all the attributes and qualities and values that this person would have to accomplish those goals, to be that person. Oh, they'd have to be punctual. They'd have to be industrious. They would have to be a hard worker. They'd have to be consistent. They'd have to be respectful. And you write down the behaviors and habits. These are behaviors and habits now. So the first one is traits, column 1. Qualities and values and traits. The second column is behaviors and habits they have to do to embody those values. Oh, okay. So, right. All right. I want to be, this is very general. This person I'm thinking about, they're really healthy. Really inspiring physically. They have to train every day. They have to track their calories. So then you have those 2 columns. Column 3. This is the opposite. What are the behaviors and habits that person would have to do to not accomplish the goal? Faison, example. Train inconsistently 1 to 2 times a week. I mean, it's applicable for really all of us. Stop getting coached by Jacob. Stop getting coached. Let's say money, you're trying to save money. Order Uber Eats 2 to 3 plus times a week. Buy $100 worth of new clothes, like buying new clothes every week or every fortnight. These are things that will help you not accomplish the goal. And these could be many things you are doing. So you have the list of great. What do you look like? And who are you? At the uppermost echelon of who you are. And every single morning you look at this, anytime you want to procrastinate, and you encounter adversity. That's one list. You will do. I don't know how many of you will do this. Only the best of you will do this. The dark list. I'm going to tap into something here. Very powerful for select people. You're going to write down every person who's doubted you, hated you, undermined you, disrespected you, tried to stop you, people who cheated you, people who talked down to you. We're harnessing a positive force for energy, and we're harnessing a darker form of energy. Both are helpful. You're going to write down what they said. You're going to say every time you feel like quitting or making an excuse, you're going to read that list. This is particularly helpful for men because men typically are more egotistical. So you have to be careful about channeling into this. But almost all of us have this. So you have the list of great, then you have this dark list. And that's fuel for you too. Then you have the light list. The light list is every person currently and in the future who's counting on you to accomplish your goals and all you can be. It's family. It's your partner. It's your future kids. It's your current kids. It's your community. All the most important people in situations that if you were all you could be, they could improve dramatically. Had you already accomplished their goals? Had I already made... See, it annoys me. What I was about to tell you is, had I already made, maybe $1 million? I probably don't need that much anyway, but let's just say double, triple, quadruple, I don't know. Let's say it's $1 million. Had I already made $1 million, man, I could be flying my parents all around the world already. Now, I probably don't need $1 million for that, but nevertheless, I'm just giving you an example. Had I already done X, I could have already had Y. So you're going to harness the power of future regret. You're going to write the names of the people counting on you. Now and into the future. Let's just say now. Now and into the future. Put photos up. This is important. I take longer to explain this when I'm with clients, but I'll explain it briefly. You need to have visual reminders. Like, this has a purpose. This Thor-looking character has a purpose. It has a symbolic meaning to me. You need to have visual reminders of who you want to be and who is counting on you. Otherwise, you'll forget because you're rebuilding your brain. You're repatterning your brain. You are not. You have to walk a new neural pathway to how you're going to behave. And to do that, you need to have constant reminders for your reticular activating system of your brain. Every time you feel like quitting, you have to read that list. If the list is not visible, if the photos aren't visible, you will forget. And you'll be like, why have I stopped doing what I was doing? Oh, it's been a month. It's been 2 months. I haven't done what I said I was going to do. I'm constantly on and off the bandwagon. I'm constantly on and off. I hear this. And one of the most challenges with clients is that people who do shit, they stop doing shit. They do shit, they stop doing shit. It's up, down, up, down, up, down. That most of them are not deeply tapped into their intrinsic why and purpose for why they're doing what they're doing and who they are doing it for. Because if I had a gun to your kid's head, you would not miss a day. If I had a gun to the person you love the most in your life, you wouldn't miss a single day. So you have to fabricate that. You have to create that. If truly what you want is truly what you want, then you create that. The last particularly emotive exercise is what I call heaven and hell. This, I think, is the most powerful. You write down a story of what your life would look like if you did achieve everything you wanted. It's an adaptation of the first one. But you write what it looks like over a long time horizon. 6 months, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. What does your life look like if you did everything you said you were going to do? And then you write down what your life looked like if you didn't do what you said you were going to do. You didn't fix your gut issues. You didn't fix your health. You didn't fix your mindset and psychological problems. You didn't go to therapy or psychology or see a health professional to address the ball of trauma that keeps presenting itself in all of your relationships. You didn't lose the weight. You didn't go to the gym consistently. What does your life look like if you didn't make the money? You didn't help those people. What does your life look like if you slowly disintegrated your habits and all who you are? And because people don't get overweight and sick and poor overnight. It's a slow degradation into hell. What does your life look like if that slowly happens? Because I know some of you look up at me and you think, how could that can't happen to him? And I promise you, it can. And every day I fight against that. It's difficult. It's really difficult. Particularly when you have evidence of your surrounding community or family and people around you that have lived a version of that. You think, well, I could just be like them. I could just live out that reality, and I could. But you fight against that. And so you need to sit down, and you really need to do it. And if you do it properly, particularly with someone like me, because I do this with my clients, it should make you emotional, and ideally it should make you cry. If it does, you've tapped into something. So you need to paint the picture of what the most hellish existence of your life looks like if you not stop going to the gym today, if you progressively stop going to the gym, stop eating well, and then you quit with your coach, and then you don't reach out to your friends, and you don't go out anymore, and then you start getting addicted to social media or pornography, and then you start drinking, and then you start maybe you buy some drugs and smoking weed, and you see this, it keeps cascading and going. What does that life look like? You need to paint that vision, because that's an absolute, very real reality. And if you don't think that could be, then you should study or read about the onset of Germany and the Holocaust, and how regular, ordinary citizens, just like you and me, well, I don't think they're just like you and me, they're not like me, at least so I think, but actually no, in a way they are just like you and me. Anyway, they went from being ordinary citizens to doing deplorable acts against other humans that you would never think that you would do today, because it wasn't overnight. It was a slow degradation into the depths of immorality and evil. And so that's a very real example. I think all these people were just evil. They absolutely weren't. They were just normal people who slowly descended into hell. That can happen to you if you do not be all you can be. You'll either live that hellish existence, or you'll live in a complacent comfort, neither life being too good or life being too bad. It will be in this middle ground of malaise and quiet desperation. And in some ways, that's just as scary, if not scarier. Because then you're invisible. You need to be sufficiently terrified of the worst version of yourself if you didn't do anything, and sufficiently inspired and hopeful of who you could become. The negative has a much more powerful impact. So I would put that on your wall. I think we all know families and people close to us that we could relive a version of their reality if we had chose to be less than, if we chose to just stop doing what we're doing. And those people, you can repeat that past. So I'd maybe put a photo up of them. You do these exercises. We won't do them now. I'm here to present them to you, and the select few of you will do them. A select special few of you will do them, and you'll put them up. And then, when times get very difficult, you will have something to lean on when there's no one there. And that is what I have for you. Does anybody have any last thoughts or feedback or comments, questions? And I'd like to hear from a couple of the Trinity guys about, has any of that we did 9 months ago stuck with you? I'll go Julian first. My man. You just gotta unmute yourself.
Sorry, what was the question again?
My question was if you guys had any questions or thoughts, or what was your biggest takeaway?
Oh, the biggest takeaway.
Yeah.
1 second.
I'd like to know yours, Ryan, too.
My biggest takeaway was just getting clear about the systems of not of making it impossible to fail. I feel like that was, as someone who's really impressionable and like just always trying to be ambitious, I always forget to look at actually making the plans of making all those goals happen.
Absolutely. Let's go. Jacob, you
I'll go, brother.
Oh,
Oh,
who we got? Oh, go ahead, Ryan. It's okay.
yeah. Along with all the finer details of what I received from this, I think the biggest overarching thing would be my relationship to my integrity with my calendar. And when I actually putting things within my calendar, actually having and working with anything that's actually preventing me within my integrity to actually take action on that. And something I've become aware of is that I've been lacking integrity with my calendar and actually scheduling this stuff in, because like I'm clear on a lot of this stuff, but the limiting factor there is the integrity with actually following through.
And I'm going to make an assumption. I could be wrong, but you have a degree of success that you have going for you now, and I imagine because of that success, you can probably think, well, I don't need to do this, or even subconsciously, maybe, because like things are going decently well, aren't they?
Yeah, bro.
But we're not going for decently well. I can get a sense of your energy, not to put my value on you, but I imagine you're aiming for something much greater. I imagine you're aiming for an excellence of sorts.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to require more. But you know that now. You've sensed the That's good. It's a good awareness of the integrity disconnection.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well done. Jacob, my man.
If anyone does anything from today, definitely do that great list. And the heaven and hell that comes with it. The accountability that you get from it is like next level. And I think it's different because it's coming from yourself. It's kind of like your future self, like the best version of you, keeping your yourself accountable. You're gonna have coaches and people that you work with, but I guarantee you nothing will hit harder than reading that when you're in a slump and it's coming from that better version of you. Yeah, it's helped me this last 9-12 months. It's been crazy.
You've looked over it?
Yeah, I got into the habit, especially at the start, where I'd look over it pretty much every single day.
Wow.
And now I just tap into it more occasionally when I need to. But I literally I come back to it every single time.
Amazing. I'm glad it stuck with you. Thank you for sharing that. It's exactly what I wanted you to share. Thank you. Who was next? It was either Reese or you. Let's go you, Reese.
I'm not on the Trinity, but literally what Jacob was saying, that was my biggest takeaway, was that bit at the end of visualization.
Yeah.
Because I personally in the past have had 10 different possible futures. I think clarifying it and writing it out and having it in detail to refer to, like Jacob was saying, I can see how that's going to help massively, especially when you're facing doubts or specific issues, just referring to it.
Yeah.
So imagine as you're reading it, you're like, actually, no, I realize why I'm doing this now.
It's brilliant. It's like a course correct. It's like, all right, I'm going off the path. I'm figuring out the path. Wait, no, I'm not. Ewan.
Yeah, definitely what some of the other guys said, but I think when you were talking about specifically the highs and lows and how some people will be yeah, I'm really into it, and then all of a sudden no longer be into it, or they'll be really committed to the goal and then all of a sudden not, and then back into it not. I think that's something I really took out of it, is it's actually creating the environment to help you succeed. So I think part of what Jacob said and what you were talking about specifically, and actually reviewing and being able to get through the times where you're in that low state and get you back up as quickly as you can. So yeah, I think for me particularly, it's helped all right, you know, what's my statue on my desk that's going to remind me that this is my
Yeah.
goal? Or what's the image that I need to have in my room printed up that I can actually see it? And this is what I want to
Do you
achieve.
know what
because
that
I
could
think
be?
could be for me. Like, are you asking?
Yeah, I'd love to know. Just one thing.
I think for me, it's just like even putting down like, I mean, I'm not super clear on it now because I haven't really thought about it too much. Like, I'll go through it, but I think I've done it in the past where I've put things up that are wrong. Like at the moment, I've got one thing up in my room, but it doesn't really do anything for me. So it's actually having something up, like a photo or like a quote or something like that.
I would recommend something that gets you guys emotional. It triggers an emotion in you. Someone you love, someone you're inspired by. Jamie Brooker, I want to say what's up to you. And I think we interacted earlier on. We might have come in a bit later, but I would love to know from what you saw. Any takeaways or thoughts? Oh, you're unmuted, but I ain't got your audio. Damn. Nah, it must be the settings. If you go in the settings, you'll be able to change it. But we'll come back. If you can't get it working, you can always write in. Matt, hit me.
Yeah, man. Just wanted to say thanks a lot. This has been really helpful for me because I've got like quite a few goals in terms of like I have what I want to achieve over the next 6 months, what I want to achieve over the next year, the next 2 years, and 5 year. Like like I said earlier, like I'd say my current end goal in terms of my career is to hit the bar and become a barrister and like start doing independent work and everything. Like that's, if you're a legal professional, that's how you escape the rat race of being a salary man and like having a job. So at least when you're a barrister, it's like you get contracted out. You're a mercenary. You're like, you take this on, you take that on. If you want to do it, you do it. If you have a good rep, you do it. So these systems that you've been talking about have been really helpful for me because like the probably greatest extent I've been doing is like every weekend I sit down for half an hour and I write out all my files, all my matters that I'm going to deal with. And it's like, okay, what needs to be done? And like, you do your triage and everything. And that's all really good. But like, I don't use my calendar for literally everything I do. I use it for when my girlfriend's like, oh, hey, we got this family thing. I'm like, cool, when is it? I'm putting it in my calendar now. But obviously I do that to not forget that I have a family function. But I should probably do that also to be like, well, when you look at your calendar, it's like you're going to bed at this time and you're waking up at this time. And like, yeah, so I really appreciate getting, being exposed to these, as you say, these really layered systems, because I'm already starting to imagine, okay, how am I going to achieve that outcome in the next 2 years? I'm going to break that goal down, which is going to be getting promoted, potentially going on and taking on a different job to get different experience and exposure. And it's like, okay, well, what are all the things I need to do underneath that to get to that next step, which is underneath the next step, which is underneath the big one. So yeah, much love, man. And as I've said, great to talk again now that you're on the other side of the pond.
Yes, sir. That's really good insight because it's talking about systems, and you're gonna, for any of you who are trying to excel at the upper echelon of your field and be an absolute killer professional, this is a hole in your boat, and there's no longer going to be a hole in your boat leaking water. So the systems part is massive. I'm glad you took that away, and much love, cuz. All right, this is a last chance, guys. If you want to share anything or ask any questions of me, or just get anything from me, if you want to squeeze the lemon of this experience, I'll leave 10, 15, 20 seconds just to let it breathe. The results of this masterclass and our time we had together, the outcomes of this will not be immediate. You'll get clarity, that will be immediate. But the actual result of you achieving what you want to achieve and walking that path, this will become obvious on why you did this and spent this time. It will become obvious, valuable use of your time over the coming months and year plus. So I'd love to know when that time comes, if you guys message me or let me know how it helped you in the future. And you have to do the work now. This is not just like, watch this and I'm different and everything's different. No, you have to sit down, schedule in your calendar. That takes another 20 minutes. You're going to have to write those lists out, do one per day. And what are you going to do? You have to put that in your calendar. This is the point. You put those tasks and activities in your calendar. Do it right now if you don't want to lose the momentum. Speaking of momentum, do something after this. It's like, okay, I'm going to finish writing that and then I'm going to build this in my calendar. You have things to do now. The only way this works is if you do it consistently. One-time tasks and habits, you systemize it in your calendar and then you track it. And then you have the why around you. And then, as we say, inshallah, you have everything you want to have in life, and you build the life that you want to have, but it won't come to you. You don't get what you want, you get what you need to have. Thank you all for spending your precious time with me. I commend and have respect for all of you, even my students who have gotten a version of this already. I'm noticing, don't think I don't notice you guys in here going over something that we've gone over. I'm taking mental notes. That's a very good sign. And it's a very good sign for all of you to be in here, committing to yourself to create a better future and an amazing life for yourself. Now you have to do the work, but thank you all for your time and trusting me. I don't take it lightly. This is a gift, what I get to do, and a humbling honor. So I want to thank you guys. And if I can be of any service or help along the way to supporting you achieve those goals, because you will inevitably need help, you don't want to do it on your own, then I'm here for you if you need. But thank you guys. Big love. Hit those emojis. Hit those emojis. They raise my self-esteem. Emojis. Bang. I'll see you, Jacob. All right, y'all.
See you, Dad.
I'll see you,
Catch
son.
you on the flip.
Hey, yeah, I'll see you on the flip side. All right, man.
Cheers, man.
Be well. I'll see you, Reese.
Thank you very much,
You're
as
welcome.
usual.
Always.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. See you.
You're welcome, brother.
Thanks,
Thank you very
Stu.
much. Have a great weekend.
You too. You're welcome. I'll see you guys. Big love.